In this video, I will be making my interpretation of the Weasley clock. Let's get started. Hello my lovely ravens, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel and today I want to share with you the amazing P2 CO2 laser cutter that the lovely people at Xtool have sent me. It is a beast of a machine, has an automatic pass-through, dual 16 megapixel cameras and can engrave curved surfaces. The material bed is 26 by 14 inches and the software that can be used is Xtool Creative Space as well as Lightburn. They have also sent me the riser base and the conveyor feeder, which I will review in a future video. So I thought it would be fun to see how detailed I can get the laser cutter with this particular laser machine. And I have tested the M1 before, which is a great start when you want to purchase your first ever laser machine. The P2, however, is everything you need if you want to start off a small business or get serious when it comes to creating miniatures, for example. In the description box you can find a link to the Xtool website. This is an affiliate link which won't cost anything to you, but it does help my channel out with any purchases made through this link. Let's get into the project. I have started with my own design of the background of the Weasley clock. The design for this clock can be found in Harry Potter, the Artifact Vault. Also, everything that I mentioned will be linked in the description box down below. After the burrow was set on fire by Death Eaters in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, a new living room clock was needed. This is part of a concept art by, I don't know which artist it is by, because it doesn't specify it in the book. However, it looks a lot like a Mina Lima design. The frogs, however, are my design, so I found this image on the Heritage Library online, and I thought this was perfect for a Weasley clock. And all the other designs I put in myself as well, because I did not want to copy exactly what was in the book, but I still wanted to make this clock. Now here you can see me playing around with that software, and this is where I start engraving that design on wood. This is 3mm plywood. The design is quick, crisp, and I had absolutely no issues working with this program. Like I said, I had worked with the M1 machine before. This is the P2 machine, but the software is the same. And this is where it cuts out around the outside. This is real time, not sped up. Well, it speeds up here, but it was real time in the beginning. But it's really, really, really fast. I really love how this turned out. The design is really so crisp. And the cut is really, really clean. Now, it does not mean that I will use my laser machine for absolutely everything. I will use it for elements in my work because I still like to work with recycled materials. Which, by the way, is also possible with this machine because it can also cut cardboard. Here I am creating the hands of the clock, which are, they are not knives, they are scissors. So half scissor parts, and I created 5 and I flip some of them to make them look a little bit different, and then I put the names in them and have that cut out by the machine as well. I specifically wanted to make this clock and the scissor hands because it will give you a great indication on how accurate and precise this laser machine really is. I wanted to really show that with this review, really, and I'm absolutely thrilled with the result of this thing. It came out better than I expected. Yeah, I'm just really happy with this machine. So I left a little bit of this material in here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm creating an outline, and then with that outline I can actually set that to cut, otherwise it will only score or engrave even. And then I'm picking a font, and that font I'm going to size that up and shape that in such a way so it fits inside this scissor handle. And this is a part of the concept design that I saw in the book, because the actual scissor handles on screen have a green screen element in them and then have the faces of the actors in them. So yeah, this is my way of kind of conveying this clock and have it as a piece of artwork in my craft room. I've added the names in a similar way as I added the letters at the top, and I also added some extra engraving elements in there. Those are the black parts that you can see there. Those will be engraved and all the other things will be cut. And here is the laser cutter in action. Here I'm showing you that design again, and all the beautiful details that it engraved into this circle. Then I'm starting off with a layer of brown acrylic paint. I struggled a little bit in coloring this clock because the design itself is made on paper, and it's definitely a digital design, and it's very light. It's almost not like a wood, but more like a stained paper. So I struggled a little bit with the coloring of this design. See, this is very dark now, and then I was like, oh no, I need to lighten it up again, because I want to show all those elements and the frogs and the words and all the little elements that I added in the clock, even though it will be obscured by most of the hands of the clock in not too long. But yes, this is what the base of the design looks like, and here is the aged up result. It's all acrylic paints, nothing special, mostly folk art paints. And this is a silver acrylic paint. I have no idea what brand it is, but it's not folk art. But any silver acrylic paint will do. And yeah, got these scissor hands ready to go. I love the result here. I am going over though with a wash, a black wash and a brown wash. It's called dark earth or European earth even. And first the black wash and then the earth wash, because I want to do something a little bit different with this clock. I want it to look like it has been abandoned, or maybe hung outside by Molly, or perhaps given to Arthur, who hung it in his shed with all the muggle stuff that he has in and collect in there. And yeah, I wanted it to look more like my aesthetic instead of like more like a Harry Potter aesthetic. It's a little bit Harry Potter, a little bit me. And here are the scissor hands. I love how this turned out. I will leave all the pigments that I used for that as well in the description box below. I'm also going over with that earth wash over the clock itself. And now it's time for the assembly of this thing. I tried to position it so in a way that it was mostly visible. All the names were mostly visible, and I think I succeeded. And then in the middle I place a little rivet that yeah, so it looks like it's kind of stuck on there. It can't move, but yeah, there we go. It looks like it's all stuck together, and it can move, but it can't, because it's just a piece of art for my wall. Now adding more of that earth stuff paint to my design, and then I'm going to add glue, because I'm going to add moss. I've missed using moss, and this has a lot of moss, because, you know, if it is actually outside or in Arthur's shed, well, maybe it's not so much in Arthur's shed, but if it's outside of the wind and rain, then there's definitely moss growing on this thing, and I might have gone a little bit overboard with the moss, but I love how this turned out. In case you didn't know, I have my Discord open for everyone who wants to join now, and we can chat there, and you can share your projects, and yeah, just hang out in general. Now let's have a look what the final clock looks like. And this is it for this video. I really enjoyed working with this new P2 CO2 laser cutter. It was easy to install and operate, and the results are truly amazing. All my social media can be found in the description box below, and if you're new here, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and of course become part of the Raven family. If you stayed all the way to the end, leave an orange emoji in the comment section to show some Weasley spirit. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!